I decided to reinvent myself at a time when it's probably not optimal because we should all have $1 billion in the bank so that we can get up and go if we choose to. But that's not the case here. So I am currently teaching myself through courses and learning from coaches that have done very well how to trade. And I'm trading on the futures market. I am trading a prop firm, trying to get XFA funded, and I've done some really stupid things. I'm going to share some things this week and do a recap at the end of the week. Thursday, I believe, will be the end of my week because Friday, I don't know if I'll trade or not. Friday seems to be a wonky day, and it's a day when things just even out and stagnate. So I'm going to share with you what I've learned so far and how I break down my trades each week. I've been doing this since July and learning from my trading just to see what am I learning here? What is the overarching goal? Am I keeping that in mind when I'm trading? Am I following my rules? Am I getting in because of things that I notice about myself? How am I going to make a living at this? And how am I going to make a lifestyle at this? So I'm going to share with you what I've done so far and give you an idea of how I go about this and what I'm learning. Also going to share some of the bad things that happened this week. I'll go over 4 different trades where I learned a lot about what I'm doing and also a lot about how I'm trading. So I'm going to share my screen here. You can see this big drawdown behind me. And that drawdown's been happening since November. This week, I was trading MBT. One of the things that I started doing was getting into the market without doing my meditation, without doing any of my normal things that I do in the morning. First, I meditate and I walk through my rules and I walk through my plan and I go through what I've written out. I've been lackadaisical on that and not doing that as much, and that's been causing a lot of problems. So I realized what I wasn't doing. It didn't even dawn on me. This is the trade that started it all off. I went in long here and I was early to the party. Check out this candle. 2 candles later, it drops. I was way too short in this. I was so early to this party. And I realized that I act too early on my trades. I don't wait for confirmation. And this is not confirmation here. Just because it jumps doesn't mean it's confirmation. It looked to me like, all right, we've got a long buying candle here. We've got a jump, a gap here. It's starting on the green to go up. But I didn't wait for it to close. I thought, oh, I'll get in here early because the volatility, it's going to go up. I thought that this candle I got into was going to be this candle, this next candle that actually printed, 30 minutes later, 40 or 60 minutes later. So I ended up getting in early and then I got stopped out on my next candle. I could have gone short and then flipped it and gone long, but I got in too early. So I realized when I was planning out my trades that I didn't look at my rules. Number 1 rule, is there confirmation? Is it sloppy on the way up? This is a sloppy price to where I'm getting in. There's a doji, there's a hammer. Am I getting in on a smooth move up or on a sloppy move up? I had to look at that and think, all right, I'm getting in where it's sloppy and I shouldn't be getting in here. I should be waiting for a smooth move. And this is a smooth move down. It's basically a double bottom down here. I could have turned around and just went right back up and done very well, but I didn't. I lost money. And even these little losses are big losses when you're trying to reach your XFA and you're just trying to make your $500 to $1,000 a day in profits, right? I want to maximize my profits to 3R and I want to minimize my losses to less than 1R, but I'm not doing that. The next trade that was not so good was this trade where I got in long. So I get in long at the top of this candle thinking that, okay, it's going to go up, which the next candle, if you notice, is blocked by the arrow. It's a doji and it went flying up. And so I'm like, oh, yes, I'll get in. I didn't stop it. I should have just gotten out up here because this is a long, but instead I took a loss. And here's a hammer. I did this right before This trade, you can see it's on the same candle. Here's where I got in on that long, and then there's a doji and then the hammer. I screwed this totally up. The volatility was not easy to deal with. This week has been really volatile in the markets. And if you're trading on these small lots, it's just very, especially when you're just an intraday trader, it's not so simple. At least for me, it isn't. So I could have just clipped it right up here and done okay. At least it would have been in the green. I wouldn't have been at a loss, right? A $200 win is better than a $100 loss. So this trade here is the trade that is, it's probably one of the worst trades I took, really bad. As you can see, I was early to the party, head and shoulders over here, and I could have waited a couple hours to get in, and I could have done pretty well on this short over here, but I didn't. I got in at this doji here thinking that it was going to go short, because here's where this long candle, this long bearish engulfing is. And then I thought this started out to be a bearish as well. It came up and then it snapped into the red, but then it settled back up into a doji and then it went green. So we've got a bearish engulfing here, a doji, and then a bullish engulfing that's huge, right? I could have flipped this and just went into a long, which would have made sense considering, but not knowing where this doji was going to take me. And of course, there's a little bit of a wick down here at the bottom on the next candle. So I thought it was going to be red. So I didn't get in again. But this is where I could have even gotten in down here on this long green candle and still done well. So this was a really bad trade for me. And looking back at this trade, I think, was it a clean entry? No, it wasn't. 3 mid candles into a hammer. So it's like short, long, short, long. It's not really smooth. This is a smooth move on the way up, right? We've got a bearish engulfing, a bullish engulfing, a bearish candle, a bullish candle, a bearish candle. This is clean to the top, but you never know how clean it's going to be. I mean, you can't predict these bullish engulfings and small bearish. This is a really bad trade for me. It really knocked me out, and I was very upset about it. You can see the drawdown behind me. It's bad. It's not a good feeling. It's really a difficult thing to get out of mentally, because I just keep thinking, oh, I'm going to keep making mistakes. And why am I doing this? Am I cut out for this? All these things go through my head when I'm trading. And it was really difficult. I've listened to other traders who have had this kind of thing happen to them, but I think this is normal based upon you have these big wins and then these big losses, and they teach you something. I do this trading in the morning, and then I do the marketing of the affiliate stuff in the afternoon for helping small businesses. I want to help 100 businesses in 100 days. I don't have a start date or an end date. I just want to say in the last 100 days, I've helped 100 businesses become compliant in their marketing, scan their websites, and start marketing compliantly so that there's not the fear of losing your business to the FTC, SEC, or DOJ. And that's some of the stuff that I do. I have another video that I'm doing that I'm going to be putting up very soon about a new case against someone who went to prison for marketing. So yeah, wild case, but that'll come up in a minute. Anyway, this last trade, I think, was really a good trade. It was actually a really good trade. I got in short here, and then I got out because I saw the candle going all the way up. But as you can see, had I stayed in, I could have done decent. But my stop loss up here was not high enough. You're looking at another $1,200 stop loss. But as you can see, I got in early in the party, and I could have done the same short over here and done very well on these candles down to, for an hour or two, actually. I would have gotten out on the third candle down here. These are the things that I'm learning as I'm trading. One of the things that I'm going to be doing is taking these lives and creating a way that I can reach more Gen Xers who are learning how to trade and are afraid of the mistakes that they're making, like doing something wrong. I know what that feels like. It's definitely the feeling of being very scared when you snap a trade and you're like, oh no, what did I just do? And the trade goes in your favor, or you don't snap a trade and it goes out of your favor. And you're just like, why didn't I just get out when I was $50 down instead of $500 down? So there's something to be said for that. I'll be making these recap videos once a week on live. I'm still learning all of this stuff, so it's a lot to do. Those are the trades that I wanted to share, and those are where I learned the most. This is really helpful for me. I go over my trades with you and I share all of my losses and some of my wins. I just keep looking at my losses. Maybe I need to look at my wins and celebrate them a little bit more, but I don't feel I really need to celebrate because I haven't done such a great job. I hope this helped someone who is learning how to trade, and I will see you on the next video where I show you the next week of recaps